Haley Jane here with Kai Taku, and it is October, so that means it is spooky season. This month, for the last week of October, the Panda Post, Bizarre Individual, and Mama Loves Manga are hosting the Manga Freak-a-thon. And so this is a spooky themed freak-a-thon and manga read-a-thon where we are going to be reading some interesting and horror themed manga this month. So here is the bingo card that has all of the different categories. Unfortunately, when going through trying to make my TBR, I do not have something that fits every category, but I have tried my hardest to get as many of them as possible, which means we have got another very ambitious TBR for the week ahead. So this manga read-a-thon goes from today, October 25th, until October 31st, Halloween. So it is the perfect time to do a read-a-thon, and I am so excited to be participating. So I've got my little list here because I doubled up this time. So I know for my last read-a-thon, I tried to read a manga for each and every single category. That was not going to happen this time in a week, so we have doubled up. So first, for the categories of Ghost, Monster, Mask, and Demon, we've got Demon Slayer Volume 1. So I recently picked up, I think, Demon Slayer's Volume 1 through 4. It is an anime that I loved. The movie just came out in Japan, so I'm excited to start this manga. And it will cover a pretty good amount of categories for me. So next, I have got Hiding and Moon, and that is Coyote Volume 1. So Coyote is a BL manga, and it is about our coyote here trying to hide. And of course, when the full moon comes out, kind of turns into a werewolf. We've got a werewolf situation going on here. So I'm excited about this. Volume 3 is coming out, I believe, in January. So I picked up 1 and 2. So pretty excited to start this series. Next, for the categories of Favorite Villain and Doctor, I have got Samurai Deeper Kyo Volume 1. So Samurai Deeper Kyo here, we've got our protagonist Kiroshiro here, who turns into Demonized Kyo. And Demonized Kyo at the beginning of the series is kind of our villain until we kind of morph and figure out there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But he in the anime is one of like my favorite characters. He's just so over the top and just so confident and cocky in his powers, and I just absolutely love it. And then Kiroshiro here is a medicine man, so a doctor. So we have fulfilled those two categories, so we will be reading this one for those. All right, and next for the categories of running and forest, we have got the Promise Neverland. And so I recently picked up the first couple of volumes of the Promise Neverland, and this one has definitely got a lot of forest and running as they play hide and seek in the woods near the orphanage. So I am excited to start this manga because I really enjoyed the anime. So next on my list for spirit animal, I picked A Strange and Mystifying Story, which I recently talked with Bizarre Individual, and he was not a fan of this one. So we're going to see how this goes. But this is Volume 1. It is a BL. I picked it up at a Sublime sale recently, so we'll see how it goes. And this is, I guess, like their family spirit, and he calls it, and hijinks ensue. So we'll see how that goes. Next, for gun and fighting, I picked Wild Adapter. So Wild Adapter is written by one of my favorite mangaka who does Sayuki Reload, and all of the different Sayuki series, but only Sayuki and the Reload have come out in English. And so Wild Adapter, I have seen the like 4-part OVA anime, and it is pretty brutal. There is a lot of killing throughout there. So I'm excited to finally read the manga. We're going to get a lot of guns. We're going to get a lot of fighting. We're going to get a lot of killing. It's going to be great. So this is one that I'm excited to start just because I really love his art style. You know, this character looks a lot like Cho Hakai from Sayuki, so really excited to start that one. Next, we have got Happiness for Vampire and Blood. So Vampire and Blood, which we've already got right here, so we know we fulfill those categories once we read this one. Happiness is a newer one that I picked up in the Right Stuff birthday sale. It is about vampires. It's got a really good, kind of art style that's kind of simplistic but detailed. And so I'm excited to read this one. So for the categories of knife, murder scene, and dead, I have picked Hell's Paradise. So Hell's Paradise is one that I've seen on several YouTubers' videos recently that is supposed to be really, really good. So I picked up the first volume to see if it's something that I would like. We will see if I do. If I do like it, then I will pick up more. I think there's 4 volumes out. Volume 5 is coming out soon. So if I do like it, I will continue and pick up the rest of it. But it knocks off 3 categories from my bingo list. So we'll see how we go. And then we have for the categories of, if I can find it on my list, crying. Something's Wrong with Us. So Something Wrong with Us is not necessarily a spooky one, but there is crying, and I wanted to check that off my list, and I wanted to read volume 2 because volume 1 ended kind of on a mini cliffhanger. So I am putting this on the list for crying. And last but not least, which will knock off a spooky read, I picked up Erased. So Erased here, this is the hardback edition. It feels so good in my hands. But Erased is about a boy who is able to kind of go back in time. Normally it's a couple of seconds and he kind of relives it over and over again. But this time he ends up going back 18 years. And that is back to when one of his classmates was killed. And I think he's trying to figure out the killer. I mean, there's been a Korean drama made out of it. There's been a anime and I think a live action Japanese series. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe it was a Japanese series and not a Korean drama. Not 100% sure. I just know there's a live version of it as well. So like this is definitely a spooky story. So I'm excited to see how it's going to go. Because I mean, whenever you're trying to figure out a murder and you get yourself involved, you always end up being a target. I mean, you know how that works. We're going to get some thriller. We're going to get some action. I'm kind of excited about Erased. I haven't read it yet, so I could be saying all of this and then nothing happens. But I am excited about this one. This is one that I've been wanting to pick up ever since I saw that there was an anime and a live action, and I wanted to read the manga first before I dove into those. So those are all of the books that I chose to read, and it is if I can get it, the stack fell over. A pretty hefty stack of books. So I'm excited to be participating in this readathon this year. If you all are participating, leave me in the comments what you'll be reading for the readathon. I will vlog throughout the week trying to check these off my list, and we'll see how far I get. Hopefully I will get them all accomplished, but I still need to read a book for book club before Thursday. So we'll be splitting our time between that. So if you enjoy this, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the standard YouTube things, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.